Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today I have for you Kaiju No.8, Chapter 25. Alright, so what's going on? Well, Papa Kaiju is confirmed as a Dai Kaiju sitting at a power level of 8.3, and this gets everyone's attention rather quickly, considering how high it is. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what No.8 or No.9's power level is, but I do know that all of them are above an 8.0. Granted, I don't think that his power level is that much higher than No.8's or No.9's unless it, comes to fruition that he's holding back and they can regulate their power levels. Because as of right now, we haven't seen any kaiju that has regulated their power. Well, actually, I lied. No.9 regulated his power level, now that I think about it. When he was fighting Izumo and Ichikawa, he did turn up the power level, but we never got a new reading for just how much more powerful he was than when he began. All I know is it can't be higher than KAFKA's that we saw, because he was getting his ass beat by KAFKA even after he, gave himself that power boost. So number 10 pops up, he's cracking his neck, and he's just being a dick. And he comes out and he's like, who is the strongest person that y'all have here? The vice captain is like, well, I guess that's me. And I guess I'm just a little, maybe he's just like, for real, maybe he's just being a dick, because we already know that the vice captain is his target. I think from chapter 24 or 23, something like that. We already know that the vice captain is his target. So for him to ask who's the strongest, I guess it's like a, an ego thing. So it might have been a situation that Captain Mina was there, she would be taking on this guy. But it doesn't change the fact that the vice captain is still their target. Then number 10 is like, then you're my prey. And he begins letting off these sonic flicks, just like what we see from number 9, what he was doing against KAFKA and Izumo and Ichikawa. He begins letting off these sonic flicks and just putting on a show with the vice captain as he fights for his life, dodging and making sure that the others have their orders to ensure the safety of the Defense Force base. But if I'm being honest, it's proving to be more difficult than the vice captain had thought originally, because number 10 has it all. He has speed, he's powerful, he has intelligence, he has it all. Pages 7 through 12, Hoshina is doing his best to really just react to this thing's attacks rather than take him on full force, like in a direct one-on-one confrontation. And it doesn't change the fact that the vice captain is holding his own. This isn't like, oh, he's getting washed, he's getting thrown around, because the vice captain said straight up, I can't take a direct hit from number 10 at all. And with everything that's going on at the Defense Force base, his focus is not right now with number 10, which actually gives a little bit more credence to the vice captain's power level, because I don't think anybody else other than the vice captain or the captain could be giving orders and also dodging this thing's attacks. It's actually a lot more menacing than what is really being shown right now. The vice captain has already confirmed that its height is stronger than Kaiju No.8's, and if it's stronger than Kaiju No.8's, then it's stronger than Kaiju No.9. We've seen how the vice captain would have dealt with, well, no, we didn't get to see it because he was holding back, but I believe with the upcoming chapters, especially when they really dive into the fight between number 10 and the vice captain, we're truly going to see the upward limits of the vice captain and just how he would have handled KAFKA if he went full force from the very beginning. But back to the chapter review, right? He's still spouting orders to Shinomiya, Harajuchi, Ichikawa, Izumo, and Kaguragi. And to be honest, this is probably all he can do given what is currently going on. But truth be told, this is honestly what I like to see. Pages 13 to 22, our young boys and Shinomiya are putting in the absolute work, alright? KAFKA, he's putting in the work, he's contributing in ways that none of the younger, more physically fit and talented younger Defense Force members could do, right? His expertise comes from all the years that he worked as a kaiju corpse disposal worker, right? Sober KAFKA takes over command, and it seems like by giving critical information about how the Wyvern's weak points are near their back and how they have less armor to pierce through in order for them to reduce the weight while they're flying, he gives them that information, but even with that information, they aren't able to catch the Wyverns off guard. You see, if it was just one, then these planes would go off without a hitch, but considering the fact that they're all working together and covering each other's weaknesses, they're not able to appropriately deal with the situation at hand. Considering that they have number 10 rallying them, it's not going to go the way that they think. Izumo actually almost bites the dust in panels on pages 16 and 17, and this is honestly, there's not much that they can do, right? And this really just gives credibility to Kaiju number 10 from what we see. The fact that he's able to fight the vice captain of the Defense Force at this level and also keep command over the Wyverns is really impressive. I'm left to think that the captain is actually going to come back and have to save this. I don't want Captain Mina to have to come back to, deal with number 10, but if it has to happen, it has to happen. I would prefer to save Mina for another you know, stronger kaiju. Like, I want to see Mina come in and take on a kaiju at like a power level of like a 9.5. I don't want her to have to come in to deal with somebody in the 8 category. I really want it to be like, oh, Hoshina can take on anybody or any kaiju under a power level of 9 by himself comfortably. He'll start to struggle more when you get into the low to mid 9s, but like 9 to 10 or 9 to however high the actual count goes, that's Captain Mina of Defense Force 3. And it might be a situation where, oh, hey, well, Defense Force 3 is actually the weakest of the Defense Forces, and it's like a leveling up system, right? So if Captain Mina goes to Defense Force 2, which is stronger than Defense Force 3, then the Vice Captain takes over for the Captain, and they bring someone else into that Vice Captain role, probably Shinomaya, considering that she is the 3rd strongest at Defense Force number 3. And vice versa, Defense Force 1 is better than Defense Force 2 or stronger than Defense Force 2. Again, my predictions, I really still want to see a KAFKA and the Vice Captain team up in order to take on Kaiju number 10. We don't know if that's what we're going to get, but at the very end of this chapter, of chapter 25, Shinomaya comes in like a radiant angel, ladies and gentlemen, because after Izumo and everybody else failed the attack, Shinomaya is not a part of any of this. So after all of this occurs, they're like, yo, what are we going to do? Well, Shinomaya is like, step back, please. Step aside because I'm coming in hot. All right, we cooking with grease. We getting shit popping. This is what's going to happen. If we can't get to their back, from their back, we're going to get to their back through their front. And she slams through one of the Wyverns. The Wyvern that was just about to take out Izumo slams through it with this axe. And I'm like, where the fuck did she get an axe from? Right? But if I'm being honest with you, I really do like this. She comes through with the Monster Hunter axe, cleaves it in half, and just poses for the finish. And I'm like, whoa, so we're upgrading weapons now? You know what I mean? Like, you're just raiding the storage unit of weapons and shit like that. But I'm like, fuck it. If you want to tote it, you can tote it because that's what you need in order to get through this. Again, I don't want KAFKA to overuse his kaiju form for the reason that I have stated in the past. His vital signs are lost and everybody can see that shit and it's suspicious as hell. So what did I say he has to do? He has to get stronger physically in his Defense Force suit or stay in this coaching role. All right, I don't know what the fuck they were teaching at these universities, these kaiju slaying universities that everybody were valedictorians at, but they're not teaching academics at all because even if it's a Wyvern class, I feel a Wyvern is a common class of kaiju, a very strong class of kaiju, but a common one nonetheless. You should be aware of general weak points of some of these monsters, and it doesn't seem like any of them are. Even the basics, right? You should know that the weak point of a Wyvern is on his back. You're not asking for, oh, what's the organ that allows it to breathe fire? No, where's its weak point? You know, you should, at the very least, at the foundation of these kaiju academies and universities, you should study weak points. And the fact that nobody on the entire field knew anything about the weak points except for KAFKA, I don't mind it. It gives a role to KAFKA and puts him in a better position and makes him more viable, like I've stated before. But I'm not going to harp on that too long. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. It lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, comment on the video your thoughts, all that fancy stuff. And like always, and until next time, I'm out.
Hostile spy plane established overhead. Hostile RCXD in your AO. Multiple enemy spy plane contacts.
Spy plane in the turn, reporting hostile contacts. Spy plane mission timeline halfway checked. Returning to base.
It's as good as ours. Keep it tight and by the numbers. Losing A. You did the work of a nation. Come on home.
Who fucking ride?